What's up YouTube? My name is Hyper and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today's video we have 3 high ground retakes that are flashy but anybody can learn. Now you've probably seen incredible high ground retakes from people like BH Motion and Faze Sway and stuff that are really flashy, really good, but normal everyday people can't pull them off. Today I want to show you some retakes that are flashy, that'll impress your friends, but that you can actually do. You don't have to be some freak of nature god controller player. So if that sounds good, then stick around for the whole video and please consider subscribing. It's completely free and you can always change your mind in the future. And also consider leaving a like on the video if you do end up enjoying it. Now with all that being said, let's hop into our retake video. Alright, so before we get into the tutorial, I just want to quickly say that I do not recommend using the first 2 inside of an actual public game, simply because they are very easily shot down. They are not held up by much. The third one you definitely could use in game because there's a lot more structure to it, but the first 2 are just more flashy that you would use to get clips in creative rather than in a public game. Another thing I want to say is that this will be going from easy to hard, so the first tutorial or the first retake will be the easiest, the second one will be medium, and the last one will be the hardest. They are all fairly easy to do. There's nothing crazy, no insane ghost hopping or anything like you've seen in some of those parallel member clips or things like that, but it does get a bit more complicated at the end, so do keep that in mind. But also keep in mind I have gotten the final clip on Xbox, on an Xbox controller, so it is possible to do it on console as well. So this, whether you're on PC, on keyboard and mouse, on controller, on Xbox, on PS4, you will be able to land these clips. There's nothing too crazy in here. So with all that being said, let's actually hop into the first tutorial or the first retake. Alright, so for this first retake, we're going to do a very simple little fake out. So we're going to come here, place our floor and our cone. We're going to edit through, and then we're going to do this move right here. So place these 2 ramps, this floor, and then this ramp here. Now from here, you've probably seen people do something like this, where they come up here and edit through, or you might have seen somebody come here and edit through like that. All of these are very popular in creative high ground retakes. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to fake out our opponent. So we're going to come, do the same thing, edit through like that. We're going to edit here. We're going to place this cone just as if we were going to do the retake over here. But we're actually going to completely switch up our direction. And we're going to side jump out here onto this ramp. We're going to place a cone, side jump again, and then crank 2 90s. And you'll see that that is facing us right here. Now, if we're looking from our opponent's perspective, say at the time before you did this retake, they had height. So if I just build up like this, so say this is your opponent here. Now when they see you make this edit, the first thing they're going to think is, alright, so they're going to either go out this way or this way. I've seen this retake a million times, is probably what they're thinking. When they see that cone go down, then they're going to be like, okay, they're definitely going to come out there. So what they're probably going to do is come up here with cones and try and block you off like this, so that, you know, when you finished your retake, if you actually edited out through here, you'd come up here, and then they would be up here and would just do the classic double edit shotgun on you. Now that's probably what they're expecting you to do. And so what we're going to do is place that cone. They're going to be so focused on this cone, we're going to come out the other side, do a side jump out, and 2 90s. And by the time we do those 2 90s, our opponent will be so confused, wondering how did he just go from there to up here. And that is where we are going to be, right up here, and we can either be shooting our opponent here while they're really confused, or we can take the opportunity to, you know, crank and and then get even more height than we had before. And so that's why this retake, apart from those little builds at the end there, which we're not going to talk about, it's a good retake, and I highly suggest using it in your own creative build fights. Alright, So for this second high ground retake, it's a little bit harder than the first one, but shouldn't be too hard at all. So what we're going to do is same thing, cone and floor. That's pretty much how you start every retake in the game. Edit through like this, and do the same 2 ramps, the floor and then the other ramp. And now, instead of going out this way, we are actually going to come out here. So we're going to place a ramp, a floor, and a ramp. Jump onto it. Edit this floor, 2 tiles like this. Place a cone, a floor, and a ramp. And you're going to do this as you jump out onto it. You then edit these 2 tiles. You can just edit the 1, but I like to edit the 2. Edit those 2 tiles. And then place a wall. Not there. I mean, you can place it there and edit it, but you don't have to place it there. That's just if you want to be flashy. But for this retake, just forget about that wall. You don't need to place it. Just the one up here. And then you're going to come, jump out onto a ramp, like so. Place a cone above your head, and then you're going to do it again. Jump out, crank 290s, and that's going to put you in a very nice spot to be looking down at your opponent, or in a good spot to continue cranking, which I'm not going to do because last time I tried to crank, it did not go well, which was kind of embarrassing. So I'm not going to crank, but you can crank because I'm sure you're a lot better than I am. And yeah, so that's why I highly suggest using this retake maybe first, and then using the fake out second, and that'll really, really bamboozle your opponent. Alright, so for this third and final retake, we have the best one of the 3, but also the hardest to pull off. This one is the only one of the 3 that I would recommend you use in-game. The other ones are too easily shot down, and you're a bit exposed, which is fine for creative, but in actual games they're not so good. But this one is perfect for creative and also for pubs. Just keep in mind that it will use quite a bit of material. Now, getting into this retake, you place the floor and the cone, you double edit through. Now we're going to place a cone here, and make sure you have your cone builds out so you can actually edit it, because if you have your pickaxe out, as you can see, you can't reach. So have your cone out, you're going to edit like this, and then we're going to jump out and build around here. So this is sort of hard to do in slow motion, but basically that's what it's going to look like. Ignore that wall. You're going to jump around like that. We're going to then edit through here, and then place the 2 ramps above and below the wall and the cone. And then from here, we're going to jump out and do a sort of circular motion with our walls. So we're going to jump, do a circular motion, and then place 2 ramps and a cone. So jump, circular motion like that. So as you can see, we jumped out, circle, place the ramp above and below, place the cone, do the same thing when you jump out this side, circular motion, ramp below and above, cone, and now we're going to place a ramp facing out this way, and a floor, jump out to the side, place a ramp to land on, edit through here, wall, jump and edit, cone and floor, and double edit through, and there we have possibly one of the best retakes in the game right now. I put this together using a bit of face sway, a bit of beige disc, and a bit of my own stuff. So credit to them for some of this. It is a really good retake, so I've sort of just taken bits of them, chucked them together to create this insane retake. And as you can see here, there's pretty much no point in time where you really can get shot. The only bit is right here, and you could place a 3rd wall here if you really wanted to. I don't do that, but you can do that if you want to stay 100% protected throughout the entire thing. You can place a wall there and there when you jump out, but that will slow you down a tad, so do keep that in mind. So that's all I've got time for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you've made it all the way to the end, comment a purple heart in the comment section and I will heart it and possibly shout you out in the next video. I know I say that a lot, but yes, you know, if you make it to the end, I do really appreciate you. And so please chuck it in the comments and I'll give you a little surprise. If these retakes helped you and you get some cool clips, you can send them to me via Instagram. My Instagram is in the description below, and I will also post them on my Instagram story if you get some cool clips using one of these retakes. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.